And with that, we go to the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Gohmert, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I appreciate you guys being here today. Just this month, this administration has seen to the release of $100 billion for Iran's use, the largest supporter of terrorism. They'd given us fair warning that they were going to increase their spending on Hamas and Hezbollah with this huge amount of money we're going to get. Are there any assurances that if Iran decided to come into the U.S. and invest that money in the United States, that they would not get an EB-5 visa and be able to buy strategic land in the United States with the money that this administration released to them? Anybody?
Sir, I can just say that as part of our adjudication, we look at each individual who is a prospective immigrant who is participating in the EB-5 program. We have access to a variety of law enforcement, financial, commercial databases, and we can also check intelligence community holdings right on site. And we also do screen the funds that each investor proposes to invest to ensure by a preponderance of the evidence that it does come from legitimate sources. And we have extensive training in this area, and in some cases we even engage our partners overseas to do a little bit more due diligence for us when it's a little bit up in the air.
So if somebody is under arrest in a foreign country, has obtained their money from questionable sources, those are not people that you want to grant an EB-5 visa to. Is that correct?
Sir, that is correct. We deny a number of individuals who we do not look at, we do not trust their source.
Are you sure, though, that this desire to have foreign money come rushing into the United States doesn't sometimes override the desire to make sure that we really get good investors in this country?
Sir, I can tell you that the adjudicators that we've hired are of the utmost, have the utmost professionalism, and they would never in any way put bringing in another $500,000 into this country above national security or criminal concerns.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel so much better, except the first I ever heard of the EB-5 program, and I mean, I'm on this committee. I guess I should have been aware, but I didn't until this story in February, exactly 4 years ago, from Jana Winter. It says, a former Mexican government official wanted for embezzling millions was arrested in Texas this month, then promptly ordered released by the State Department in a case that has one lawmaker demanding answers. It says, a day after pulling rank on Smith County law enforcement officials, the State Department rescinded the order, but Hector Hernandez Javier Villarreal was gone. Villarreal, the former Secretary Executive of the Tax Administration Service of Coahuila, Mexico, was arrested in November. They're on charges relating to an alleged scheme involving embezzling millions of dollars from the Mexican government. He posted $1 million cash bond, got himself a U.S. visa, then skipped town. The sheriff in my home county at the time said all we did was make a traffic stop. They didn't have a front license plate. Police were given permission to search the vehicle, found $67,000 in cash and a shotgun. We ran the check on the shotgun, then all of a sudden everybody in the federal government got interested. But they go on to say that the State Department intervened. Sheriff said, according to Homeland Security officials, called to tell him the Federal Diplomatic Agency had ordered Villarreal and his wife released. Neither State Department nor ICE officials responded to Fox News' request for comment. Villarreal was granted a visa days after posting a $1 million bond following his arrest in Mexico. The visa Villarreal was granted was an EB-5, which is given to foreigners who invest at least $500,000 in a business venture. Turns out it wasn't properly invested, and I appreciate your assurances a great deal that we would never do anything to compromise American safety. Unfortunately, You've already done it, and I have no assurance that you're going to protect us any better in the future. And I think we ought to be suspending this program until such time we can be assured that American citizens are safe. And from constituents as a result of this, I've heard from people in Longview, Texas, that they've lost bids to foreign investors because the foreign investors were able to get sweetheart interest deals they couldn't get, so that local property was sold to foreign investors simply because they could get an EB-5 and they could get a better interest deal than American citizens could. That's just not right. I yield back.